Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Hey, Miss Sassy Francis, Miss Queen Sanity, Miss Sincere James. Miss Sincere, before you leave, I was going to ask, what the crap happened with you, Woo, and Lemon last night? Like, I have no idea what happened on that. I was just like lost. Um, I had saw your live where you did, um, the conversation with Woo and whatnot a while back when that was going around and whatnot. But I don't know where all the crazy stuff came from. I'm like, huh? What happened was because I really don't know. I'm like, I just heard people screaming. I ain't never heard you scream sincere like that. I was like, what? Let me go over here and pin this link so that I don't have to do that. But yeah, I was over here like, huh? What had happened was, you know, I didn't know. I was like, let me pin this link, y'all. I'm pinning this link right now. Pin me. Okay, so now I don't have to worry about that. One last thing for me to do. Oh, hey, Miss Sincere. Yeah, because I want to know. I was curious. I was curious. Let me I gotta bring up my banner. I know it's you, but you gotta check as a content creator. Because you know how these people are. Is that you, Miss Sincere?
Yes, it's me. Oh my God. I've been up. Now I'm sleepy.
Girl,
Oh,
you need to get some sleep. I didn't even. I went to bed, got up, watched the live, and was like, "What did I miss while I was asleep?"
I like your background. Why are your circles so big though? Are they
I
so,
don't know. My circle's way
is,
too big.
is
Let
it
me.
because it's both of us?
I don't.
No,
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah,
Cause
put it
oh,
back
there
together.
we go.
Okay.
There we go. There's my little circles.
Girl, you found out something like I'm gonna have to play around with that. Oh my God. Oh, Charlie, Charlie, Charlie. Charlie, I feel tired and withered and beaten and bruised. My bones are aching. No, let's stop.
Girl, all I saw was I couldn't hardly hear. I was gonna say that when I was doing my commentary this morning on all of what had happened. Because you and her were both going at it at the same time. So I was trying to hear. I was trying to be, nosy and listen real hard. And I'm like, wait, why Lady Live involved? What's Miss Brenda got to do with it? What's going on? Child, what
So,
happened, Miss Sincere?
what what part do you want to know about? The woo part or the lemon part? Hold on one second.
Okay. We got a
I'm
guest.
here. I have to get that because I feel like that went down the wrong pipe. That's been happening a lot lately. I just get these bubbles. Like I want to, and it's rude to burp. Like it's not ladylike. But which part do you want to know? So I can calm myself. Let me calm and smoke. Never mind. Let me talk about that
Okay.
on your channel.
Yeah, I got you. I got you, girl.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, so the first thing is what happened with the woo situation? Why did y'all start woo banging in the chat? Like, you came up on some. I ain't never seen you with that much vitriol. Like, just jump up like ready to swing. I'm like, what?
Well, okay. So the thing with woo is really weird. I don't really know what is really truly based in, but all I know is that Wu tagged me and Brenda in a post, and she put up a communication between her and Lady La. And in the communication, it was like a picture of my live, right? The thumbnail of my live, and Lady La says to Wu, "They're talking about you, Boo," right? And
Yeah.
so I guess she was saying me and Brenda was talking about her. Now, mind you, I asked Wu over at Lemons, did you even see the live? Right? Like, did you even tap in to know what's going on? But I believe she actually showed up. So that's the odd part about it. Because when I think about it, she did show up and we were having a conversation. And then she showed up again because Wu had been over to my live like two times back to back. I recall like a back to back. Now, Wu will make you think she's never been over to my channel, have ever hit my panel before, and that would be a lie. She has. Just as of late, she's been moving more so in the Mule 3 sector, and she hasn't really been over like in Highlander country, if you will, right? But she's always welcome to come. But that's what she did. She tagged me in there, and she tagged Brenda in there, and she tagged Lady Law in there, right? Now, there was another one she did right after that saying that, oh, she said something to the nature, Lady Law wants me to come after you and Brenda, right? Lady Law wanted me to come after you guys. Now I didn't see that second one. Now, but Brenda saw it, right? I just saw the first one. I don't know how I didn't see the second one. But I was dismissive of it across the board anyways. And so since then, Wu has been on my panel. We had a conversation about it. Lady Law was there. I treated her graciously. I wasn't trying to have a situation with her or Lady Law or anybody, right? I'm talking how I normally do when I'm not feeling the way about you. You know what I mean? And so I'm having a very peaceful, amicable conversation. And then we talk about some other stuff. So like we move forward. And then here now, I'm thinking things is fine. I seen Woo in other places or high and stuff like that. And then now, right, she's up on Lemons and she jumps in the conversation with me and Lemon, which I don't know why that happened. So I can assume some things, but I really just don't know why. Like it seemed very odd. Like me and Brenda was talking about that tonight on my live I had earlier as to how did it switch, because I did show her grace and I was showing her kindness and I wasn't speaking to her poorly and I was getting understanding, because mind you, you tagged me and Brenda in what seems like a real fuck shit move. Oh, excuse my language. A really bad move. Like a really bad move. Like, I don't know what you were trying to get from that. Because are you outing Lady Law? Are you trying to make it seem like there's tension? Are you trying to stir the pot? I mean, it could have went all kinds of different ways. You know what I mean? And so I don't know. I don't know what I think. She just wanted to fight, and I just told her, if you want to fight, I'll give you one. I don't care, because I know how I've been treating you.
So you feel like, from your point of view, that you've been treating her well, and that she came at you out of nowhere in a way, in a sense.
Yeah, because I have been treating her well. Because look, we all talk about things that happen on the sectors and stuff like that, but there's nothing I would have said about Woo that is just so egregious or so what have you. Because I'm just thinking, like, what is actually going on with Woo? I can't even recall right now. Oh, her and that guy she was with, but that is like a lot of Mo3 sector communication. So I might have touched on it in the overall sectors of communication. But I know where I would have came from at that point, because I thought something egregious happened to her, and I'm saying get away from that, right? So if she actually heard it in its full context, she would have been like, it wouldn't have been nothing against her. So anyways, but yeah, she sent that out, and then here we are over at Lemons, and she's jumping in. And I think at that time, I think she just might have wanted to show Lemon some kind of loyalty, because her and Lemon are just now getting on a better foot. And so I became the sacrificial lamb.
And you and Lemon, I heard him state that. Uh, now I'm not confirming or denying. This is just what he said. He said that you felt a certain type of way because he went live on top of you or something. That's
Well,
all I heard.
that's not how it went. Like, okay, so Lemons, okay, I guess I need to go from the beginning. I'm gonna try to speed it up real quick so that I won't bore anybody with this, because sometimes people can get long-winded in details, and people can get bored, right? So I'm gonna just say it like this. Simon came to my panel, right? And I think I was the first panel Simon came to. And he was talking about the situation that occurred over at Lemons between him and Mother. And that conversation on my panel was about like an hour and a half. I want to say almost 2 hours. He was there for a very lengthy, good amount of time. And a lot of people were there. And or at least I felt like there's a lot of people, because I don't know, I never know my numbers, because I have it to where I can't see my numbers, but I can gauge it by the chat. So there's people there, right? And so everybody was saying that in that chat that Simon was not telling the truth about what happened between him and Mother, right? So from there, I think the next day he went to YouTube cameras, and then that night he went to Envy's. So tonight, Lemon is talking about it, right? And he's not mentioning the fact that it started really at my channel. But he is aware that that happened in my channel. How I know he's aware, because he makes a mention about audio, or well, video that was played from his live, right? And I'll come back to that, but just hold that right there. Hold that thought right there to remember this, right? So I'm in Lemon's live, and the chat is going, and then so he's saying, yeah, Simon, you were over at YouTube cameras, and then you were over at Lemons, and you were saying this, that, and other. And so the whole time he's not mentioning nothing about my life, which is par for the course, because there's a lot of people who like snub me, right? I don't know what their reasoning is, but I don't really care. It kind of works to my advantage, to be honest, right? So there was a few people that were in a chat, and they were like, well, over at Sincere's, and I'm telling them, shh, don't mention me. And they're like, oh, okay. Every single time I'm like, shh, don't mention me. You know what I mean? I don't want you to mention me. He's not mentioning me. Don't mention me. Just let him tell it how he wants to tell it, however he wants to tell it. As far as I'm concerned, Highlander country is for people who actually want to be there. And then it's sort of, I want to say exclusive, but it's like the people who be around there actually know that a lot of things actually kick off initially at my channel. Quiet as kept, right? And then it spreads to other spaces. But if you're a Highlander, you already knowing before anybody else knows about a lot of things, because it usually starts at my channel, and that's just how it's always been. And so in that, I'm kind of like prideful about it, you know. So I'm just like shh, shh, shh. And so he's watching that, and I also spoke to him, and he's watching that. How do I know he's watching the chat? Because when I make this one particular comment, which is to Big Rigs, I'm saying, Big Rigs, you paying attention? You know, pay attention, player. I'm saying, pay attention, player. That's how I talk. Like, it's a Bay Area communication, like how we talk, like California thing. I say, pay attention, player. And so then Big Rig says to me, always sincere, 100, 100. And when that happened, Lemon levitates out his body. He puts my comment up, which is pay attention, player, and then puts first he puts Big Rig's response, and then my comment, and he's like, whoa, I just need to address this. Sincere, I know you don't like me. And I'm saying, say what? And I'm typing in the chat. Since when did I don't like you? Like, since when did that happen? Now, all this comes also on the cusp of the fact that baby mama Brina was at my channel the day before, or 2 lives ago, whatever, prior to this live or something. Within the last 3 lives, baby mama Brina was over there, and she was there for a while, and our conversation would probably be looked upon as like an interview, but it was just kind of very, spontaneous, and a lot of things were said, and I think he felt a way about that as well, because he never clarified why he would think that I dislike him, like what it would be rooted in, what it would be based in. And so I don't know if you saw that part where he said that last night, or if he's still live, or whenever the hell he was live last, right? And it kicks off from there. And he's coming at me kind of tough and direct. And I'm like, okay, well, let's meet energy with energy. Because I'm reading between the lines with you, and I'm seeing that there's something else going on. And I'm also realizing that you are trying to you're trying to correct me or do your big one on me. And so I hit the link and like, let's go there. Let's really go there about what the problem is. Because you want to say, the way I talk bothers you. I come off this way, that way, knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone, whatever the reasons are. But it's not breaking down why you think I dislike you. And how do you feel like I've been talking about you? I'm not doing no more or no less than anybody else is doing, which is we have commentary. We have panels. You're doing the same thing. And so as a deflection, he comes back. He comes to this. Remember, I told you to hang on to that. well, you played my commentary, you played my my whatever the hell you want to call it over on your platform, and that was disrespectful, and you didn't tell me. And I'm like, I'm gonna have to chalk that one up to the game, because for me, in my mind, and I'm not saying I'm right, and I'm also not saying I'm wrong, but I can understand where one could possibly be upset. But plenty of people have played my commentary, like my lives and stuff, and I don't get bent out of shape about it, because I know it's all part of the game. Like, it is all exposure, for one, if that's what you're looking for. But that's where it happened, so what's the problem? But in hindsight, maybe I should have, said, "Oh, here's $5 or whatever the hell." But I wasn't thinking in that way, because at the time when this was happening, and this is the live with Simon. Simon was trying to say that mother started the situation with him, and I was letting Simon say all he needed to say and express and try to understand and interpret what he was saying, because Simon has that accent, and then he kind of goes over. You have like 3 or 4 different thought processes going at one time. So I'm like reading between it and trying to make sense of it, right? So then finally Snoop comes up. She's like, "Wait a minute." Then that went on for another 30 minutes, and then Snoop was like, "Look, we could just put this to rest. Let's just play it. Like, let's play and see what really happened." Because it was never about Lemon. It was about why Simon is saying that mother kicked something off with him, knowing that it didn't go that way. Or at least everybody in the chat is saying, "He's lying to you. He's lying to you." So that's the general gist of things, and some other stuff. A lot of other stuff, but Mm.
We got us a guest. It's Mr. Beasley.
Oh, the beige one.
Hey, Mr. Beasley. Good morning.
Good morning.
Sorry, I'm not bringing you up a while ago. I was letting Miss Sincere say her piece.
Well, you
It's
could have
okay.
just told me he was back there. I would have let it. You could have lit him up.
No, I got to listen to the whole thing, but I was falling asleep and not. I had dreams about porpoises last night. I was with porpoises.
My Lord, how you doing this morning, Beasley? And could you cut down? Like, what is that in your background? You always do that. Could you just turn the TV down a little bit, please?
Is it that loud?
It is all the time. I keep telling you that.
The problem is
Oh, Lord.
I can't find the remote control ever.
You should
And
download. You
yesterday,
should download the app for your TV on your phone, so that you can have the remote control on your phone. So that way, if you lose your remote control, you could just control it from your phone.
I didn't know that you could do that.
Well, we learn something new every day.
Yeah, I must say, listening to everything, I had no idea any of that was going on in the first place until I saw that live from Lemons last night. So I had no idea y'all was woo banging. I had no idea there was a fight. I had no idea nobody had no hurt feelings. And then I looked at it and was like, huh? Where'd
Well,
this come from?
I don't.
Have you noticed? Have you noticed that Boo is psychotic though? All she does is like to argue with people.
Well, that was intentional. Wu was okay. So Wu had been
That's
banned from.
what she does. That's what she does. You can talk about anything, and she just wants to say, "Oh, she's just sick, man.
I
Sick.
like Lady Woo, but that's just me. I like a
You
lot of
must
people
you
that
like
don't
you like
like each
people.
other.
You
People
remind
like arguing. People like
me.
nonstop arguing.
You're gonna dislike somebody sooner or later. They told me the same thing, and I was just like you. No, no, no. And yep, it's gonna happen. But right now, stay in this, like this, because this is a beautiful space to be in. Far as like, you like everybody, and things are just magical. Stay there as long as you can. Okay, so look, I'm going to tell you about what Wu had got banned from Lemons. And so now she's been coming back around. And Wu, sometimes in my mind, I feel like she's a person who wants to be part of, or, fit in or whatever. So, and if she is, sometimes she'll feel like she has to prove herself, right? And if I say her name too many times, she might just pop up right now to start a fight early in the morning, because she don't care. And but I think in that moment, she just felt like she wanted to show some kind of allegiance to Lemon, and that's why she came out of nowhere towards me based on nothing. Because she couldn't even tell you, and that's why I kept saying to her, "Did you see my live? Like, did you see my live? And then don't you realize you just on my panel the last two times, like the last two lives or something like that? Like, girl, do you miss? Do you remember this stuff?"
I
And
saw you say that multiple times. Did you see the live? Did you see the live? Did you see the live? And then I heard Woo say, I saw the live. And that just like, and then y'all was woo banging, and I was trying to figure out who was cussing who and who was saying what to who. And I was like, good Lord, baby
she
Jesus.
just wanted to curse me, like she just wanted to do that. And then that makes me think, because some other things happened. I mentioned to you about her sending over, tagging me and Brenda and something. I mentioned a couple of things, right? And so the wheels are turning in my head. Yeah, I hope you stay in the magical space that you're in for a while. Like, I hope it stays that way for you.
I'm going to try. I'm not trying to make anybody angry, but you never know. Somebody might get angry because I allow others to speak their piece. You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? So,
They always do. And you remind me of me in that manner, because in that I still get flack for it today, because even me and Beasley fall out from time to time because he says, "Oh, you let people say this and you never let me speak my piece." And I'm like, "Yeah, man, you speak your piece all the time." But what he's not understanding, or at least I hope people to understand, Beasley, do not do it, please. Let me just get this out, and then I want everybody to be able to speak their piece. You get what I'm saying? We don't have to agree, but let everybody to get their full thought out, so that when you respond, it's, you don't know what you're going to miss from that conversation, to like where your response will be different. Just hear them out, and then we can have a conversation about it, or it could be a battle of wits or words or whatever, but it doesn't have to be just a cutoff, and then people's thoughts never get out, and so on and so forth. I don't in particular like to woo bang, if you will, on people, but I will if I have to. And last night at Lemons, you got to see another facet of me, right? Because I am multifaceted, and every human being is. And if there's a human being out here that tells you that they're not, they're lying, for one, and two, don't trust them. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way in this human experience that there's not multiple versions of yourself. We act one way at work, we act one way with our family. That is part of being multifaceted. We act one way with strangers, we act one way with people we're familiar with. You get what I'm saying?
oh yeah, because when I'm silly, I'm way more animated. If you see me when I'm silly, I'm way more animated than I am right this second, right? So when I get real silly, I get really animated. Like, it's crazy. Like, it sounds like I'm a different person, but I'm not. I'm really, in the zone
Yeah.
being
I,
silly.
and by nature, I'm really silly and lighthearted and laughing all the time. And most people will say that about me. So it's a shocker when they see me go off. But this is a part of me too, because there is no way in this world you can walk in this earth and not have anger from time to time, or feel a way, or want to protect yourself, right? And you can't tell people what that's supposed to look like. For some people, if you walk up on them too quick, they'll get the swinging. You see what I'm saying? You know, well, why are they swinging? Because you move too quick upon them. You can't predict it. You cannot predict it. So I mean, maybe Lemon thought I was going to come up there after he said all the things that he said. I was going to come up there and be just, so nicety nice to him. And, "Oh, you always talk this way and that way, and you just prove to us that you're just fake." No, what I prove to you is that I will get in your ass whenever the F I feel like it. If you keep playing with me, you pretend ass California ninja.
You know,
He's
some of
not
these
from, not
guys,
from California.
they're
He's not from Bay. Beasley. I don't know where that fool is from, but he is not Cali. But go ahead, Beasley. I'm
not
sorry.
LA. He's not LA or the Bay. He's from he's from Lemon Hills,
Please
California. That's
don't do that.
South,
Please don't do that. Don't do that. Be
South
nice to her channel.
Sacramento.
Be nice to her channel, Beasley. Please.
Well, hold on a second, man. I sit here patiently, and then you're
Okay, I'm gonna be quiet. Sorry. Apologies.
yeah, chill out. I had dreams with porpoises. That's swimming with
What
porpoises.
was you dreaming of porpoises for?
I don't know. I don't know. I woke up and they were still there when I went back to sleep. They're like, "Hey, come on." So
Every time I hear porpoise, though, I think of the song.
Lemon is in the process of a full mental crisis. And I didn't listen to the show last night, but I listened to someone give a critique. And apparently, he said he was putting his groceries away 7 different times throughout a 5 or 6 hour period. He's repeating himself, and he's really under pressure because he's deep in that closet. He's deep in that closet on YouTube. Now, I don't know if he's deep in that closet in real life, but he's deep in that closet, and they're putting him out. He's not as comfortable with himself as Shakim is. Shakim didn't want to come out of the closet, but now he's out of the closet. He's embracing it. He's trying to, have relations with as many people as he can, or flirts, and he's getting it for dollars. And most people don't care, and I don't really care. But it comes down to pride. A lot of gay people don't really have pride, and that's why they use pride as the symbol, that's why pride is that's why pride is the theme that's promoted. It's in line with with gays and coming out and being proud of who you are. And you can take that back even further uh, uh, to black folks. When James Brown, he made the record "Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud" in 1969. That people were trained and taught not to be proud or think that their ethnicity is inferior when it's not. But I'm happy she had a fight with them. She finds that usually the people that I fight with and I get into it with, they are not perfect people. She gives them the benefit of the doubt as if I'm the one that's causing the problem, but now she sees that they can cause the problem. So I don't think she goes after them like she goes after me. She plays with me. I'm talking about Saida. I turn the television down. And
I don't go after you. I want to say I disagree with that respectfully, but go
I
ahead.
think genuinely you really like me, and you really like me, and you enjoy me, and that's just your way of showing it.
Well,
That's
I
just your,
don't dislike you. I don't dislike you, and I generally don't dislike anybody. To be honest, even when I say something about
why. See, here it is. Here it is. You said something nice, or that could be interpreted as nice, and then you took all of the wind out of it. You said, "I don't dislike you," and that's not really a nice thing, but it's not a mean thing. And then you just go ahead and zeroed it out by saying, "I don't dislike anybody."
well, no, you're right in what you're saying, right? So that kind of takes away from being personal or personalized, right? What I am trying to say in full context is this: I take people for face value as who they are. I'm not trying to change who the person is. I generally enjoy people. Um, do I know you might be a snake or a dog or some other stuff? And I'm not calling you that, Beasley, but I'm saying understand these things about you, but there are probably things about you that I enjoy, like maybe you're very comical or whatever the case may be. And I try to enjoy the more positive parts of people and keep it copacetic. I'm not going to try to, like kick off a thing with a person. And so when people do come around, they find that we can have a conversation, we can engage, and so on and so forth. And if I do step on your toes, it's very simple. We can have the conversation. You don't have to walk
You
away.
you you you've never been as mad as me as you were with Lemon this morning.
I'm sorry? Oh, sorry.
Well, let me just say,
You've
and
never, you've never, you've never cursed me like that. I don't even think you've ever called me a two ball bitch, and you use that often. Oh God!
Well, look, let me just say, I'm not even.
It would definitely be on and popping if you ever called me a two ball bitch. You know that, right? It's just
Well, did I call
you,
him?
you,
I might have blacked out and called him one. I
oh,
might have
you
called.
call him, you call him a two ball, but you call him a lot of things. I was definitely amused because I woke up to that. I woke
Lord.
up to that. No, you had just ended it like 22 minutes earlier. I was like, let me see what she's talking about. She said this citrus tried to try me. I was like, oh. She's talking about tangerine. Did they call you tangerine? And how did that? Um, yeah.
I don't look. In truth, I'm not even angry with Lemon, to be honest. And Norm, I dislike him. I don't know why he thinks I dislike him, but that's where he's at, and so I have to deal with the
You
fact
should
that
go listen. Maybe he listened to the beginning of your show. If this is the beginning of the last show you did, you're not very fond of him. Maybe you got it off your chest and it's not that big of a deal. See, I haven't listened to his show. I'm not going to even bother to listen to his show.
I don't know. I say
MISSIPPI.
I know what I normally say, which is that I believe that he's homosexual, right? And
Right.
he hasn't came
That's enough.
out.
That's enough for him not to like you. Right.
Well, I brought that up, right? And he says, no, that's not it. So we're gonna take that off the board. The only other thing that could possibly have, you know, caused the issue in his mind or make him feel away is the fact that Brina was over there. Right? Because Brina, we have an interview with
He
Brina.
heard. You know what he could. What it possibly could be.
Hmm.
One of the things could be is that you don't stop me from saying calling him Lady Tangerine and all that stuff.
Yeah, it could be that too. I mean, but I can't like stifle the communications of other people. It doesn't mean that I share the same thought process as them. Like you feel a way about him, but I don't feel that same way about him. If I feel a way, whatever I feel about you, I will actually say that. And so I think that people need to allow people to express themselves, and then you need to be able to differentiate who is saying what and where it's coming from, because you never heard me really call him Tangerine. And I told you, like, why are you calling that man Tangerine? But today, I said a citrus tried to tried me, right? A,
And
a,
why? And,
a
and why
fruit.
did I tell you I called him Tangerine?
I can't remember, but I know you call him Lady Tangerine.
Okay. I call him Tangerine because he goes by the name Lemon, and lemons aren't sweet, and he's way too sweet to be a lemon. He's a tangerine.
Oh, yes, that's true. You have said that. You have said that. So look,
Yeah. So there's a reason for it. He's really not that important. These are young enough to be my children, my nieces and nephews. They're very disrespectful. Um, I have no problem with spanking them and abusing them, and I really find just letting them wreck themselves because they're both him and the other one. They're wrecking themselves. On another note,
wait, let me say something to Charlie real quick. Now, see, Charlie, you see how me and Beasley are communicating?
Yes,
Now, a lot of people don't communicate with Beasley in this manner, right? There's
that is
always
very
it's
true.
like yeah, it's like arguments and stuff.
all you have to do is talk to me and not at me. That's all anybody has to do. And it
But
is
doesn't
early in
mean
the morning,
it
and
doesn't
I
mean that he hasn't had art with me in the past. Like he has been pissed at me, and then he comes back around, and I allow him to come around because I don't feel a way, right? But I think he's start. You have to feel a person out and grow to know them, right? To see like what their intent is and what their intention is. I mean, I'm not a CC that's snubby or snobby towards people. I try to speak to everybody, but I have been snubbed, right? By many of
I
the
don't I don't I don't I don't wish ill will on you or your platform. I want you to grow. I'm happy
thank
that
you.
YouTube cameras grow, but she's turned into a different person. She left me backstage for 40 minutes. And then when she finally let me up, she was fussing, and all I came to do was to say the Lord's Prayer. That's all I did, and I got off. And she
Look,
argued with me. She argued with me. She argued with me before I did that.
there is a CC cabal, if you will.
I have a
Okay.
history. I have a history.
Yeah,
And
Mr.
he,
Beasley, I actually was going to talk on that this morning.
yeah,
I was like, what happened with YTC and Mr. Beasley? I was like, he just popped up there and then, I was like, was, something said in the back chat? What happened? And then I
Well,
heard
I
you say the
came.
Lord's
She
Prayer.
did. She feel that's all I came to do. That's all I wanted to do. That's all I've done. I did that on her show last week, and Shah Kim came up there and cussed me out. Now, if you know he's not the demon, if you know he's not, you got to be a demon. If all you hear was the Lord's Prayer, and he cursed me out for doing that,
look,
bad. He cussed me
Charlie,
out bad.
there's a CC cabal, and then there's also influence, right? So when it comes to Beasley, if you're not an independent thinker or one that moves on their own, you could be easily influenced to X him out, if you will, right? Now, is he crass? He's yes, he can be crass. Is he overbearing and he likes to talk about himself and he's very vain? All of those things, yes, true. But you can, if you pay attention to him a little bit, to actually listen and get past whatever the heck else, he's actually making sense and talking about something of some substance. But he's like a marked man, if you will, right? And so there is such thing as a CC cabal. There's cliques and crews and those who think they shape and shift the YouTube experience. And I don't know if they took some kind of blood oath or something, but they
Oh, they
will.
didn't. They're the go along. They're the go along to get along.
They'll try to
And they
stifle
form, and they form, and they form the little cliques and tribes in the B
yeah.
sector,
They'll try to stifle
and
your pay.
and and they'll try to have. They're like NATO, you know. They
Not
try to
NATO.
no, they try to form little packs where they're don't you talk about ODS, don't you talk about Lady Nika.
Well, don't. Could we not right? Well, I get what you're saying, but look, you are saying what you're saying is correct. But let's just not mention certain people right now. Like let's just stay on the task at hand because she is very new to this.
And you
And
know what? She's new, but she's underneath someone that's very active and very controversial. So I don't think, and I'm not trying to do that, but I don't think she's new to conflict. And she's probably caught some strays because of her associations. I'm sure she's caught some strays,
Oh,
and
I've
I'm sure
caught some
she's caught some
strays.
strays. I'm sure she's caught some strays just from being white in these spaces. There's some bigoted ass black people
so,
around here.
so you're already a
They asked Ness, they said, why was white people on that bus? First off, it was like a public bus and everything, but you know, whatever.
so you have already been made a made man, Charlie.
Oh, Miss Saida, did you know that I got doxxed twice before I even became a content creator?
No, I hate that happened
Yeah.
to you. Well, then you
See,
might be of some interest to
that's
somebody.
how that's how that's how that's how that's how that's how deep and thick BS is. You know, that's how the doctor lieutenants are her friends. Yeah, so that makes sense.
Well, me, I do my own thing. I don't associate in that manner. But do I want to get along with the CCs? Yes. Do I have qualms with them? Me personally, no. But are there some out there who have qualm with me? Yes. You know what I mean? And can I change that? No. Because the one thing that won't change is that my independence, right? Or the way I'm able, my thought process, because I feel like if you can express yourself in such a manner and do as you will, then why would you try to stifle me from expressing myself in my manner and do as I will? Because I'm not trying to control nobody and I don't want nobody controlling me. But what you seen tonight was one of the cabal's people getting out of line. And me, you see me in the chat. What you see, what you saw was a straight up chess move. You saw me moving pieces, and then you seen somebody levitate out their body. That's what you saw, in truth.
I see,
And
Miss Saida, you must have not have saw what happened on KRS Community Wall.
what with the dimples thing?
No, a while back he was calling for my information, and I didn't do nothing to him. But now he's done now since he apologized and did a ceasefire. But at the time, I had did nothing. I really didn't. I didn't do nothing. I was just chilling over here in my little space, not bothering nobody. You know
He
what I'm
sure thought
saying?
he
Lemon,
sure
you
thought tough.
you saying
He
Lemon
looked
was calling
he
No,
no
not lemon, KRN.
KRN
Because
was
Queen
mhm. And
Queen
I didn't
Roman.
do nothing. I
He
didn't do
looks like
nothing.
he looks like he's about 5'7", 165 pounds. I would punch him in his chest, and he would fall down on the ground. And I'm an old man, and I'm a man of a certain age. I'm almost going to be an old man soon. If I told you how old, you guys wouldn't believe me for the energy that I spend on here when I choose to spend energy. I'm gonna be 62 years old next month.
But we're good now. You know what I'm saying, Miss Sadie? We're good. But it
He's
did
a
make me
whole
feel some type
he's
of
a he's a
way.
he's a
Like it
whole
hurt my
reactionary.
feelings. I'm like, I
He
ain't did nothing
roasted
to
he,
you.
he roasted me for no reason.
who you talking about? KRN too, Beasley?
Yeah, he roasted me for months ago when I first started coming around here. He roasted me for no reason. I never responded to him or nothing, but he's on the list. He's on
Okay,
Uh-oh.
the list.
so I haven't had a issue with KRN. I don't know, and I hope in the future that we don't have one, right? But you find that sometimes, depending on your affiliations or whatever the case may be, you might catch a stray, or a person might feel away, or you might have said something innocent, and then it becomes a thing. And that's why I find it laughable when you see a lot of CCs out here talking about how they're so grown or so this, that, and other. And I'm saying in my mind, no, you're not, because you can't even hold a simple conversation with a person that you have out with to try to come to a reasonable agreement or a reasonable understanding. And then instead of you become very emotional, and the next thing you know, I'm not talking about KRN in general, but I'm saying a lot of times you see a lot of emotional outbursts, right? And so they become very emotional and they walk away feeling away, instead of just simply having the conversation, right? So as you see, like, I'm gonna give this the situation between me and Lemon as an example. You see Lemon saying to me, "Oh, you've been here and everywhere talking about me," and I'm like, "No, I haven't." And he's like, "Well, you were over at Kim's and you said this and that." And I said, "Well, quite possibly, right? It's possible. I'm not gonna negate that, but why couldn't you have the conversation with me when it happens so I can be fully in tune with what you're saying? You're going to wait days later or weeks later to have a conversation with me about something that's fresh in your mind, but it's not fresh in mine. So what you should have did is, when it happened or whatever you felt was egregious happened, you should have said, "Hey, Saida, whoop, wop, wop, wop." And I would have been like, "Oh, okay. No, this is where I'm coming from with it." But that doesn't happen. What happens is that people walk away um, with something in their mind and their heart. You know what I mean? But if you go by your heart, you lead by your heart and not your mind, it will cause a lot of chaos. And that's where the emotion comes into place. And so I think a lot of times that happens. And that's why people end up disliking each other for no apparent reason, or when they find out, once they are able to become agreeable towards each other or come into some kind of amicable relationship, they find all the things to be so silly before, because it was really silly before.
Yeah,
It
like a
was
lot of the
silly.
things that people come at me for, I find it very silly because a lot of the time, me, myself, and I have done nothing, right? So
Yeah.
I'm like, this is crazy to me. Like you're throwing shots, and I'm just catching these strays, and I ain't did nothing to you physically or said nothing bad about you or done anything. So to me, it's silly that you're throwing these strays. Like even for yourself, I'm pretty sure you've caught some strays, and you're like, well, I didn't do anything. Somebody else said that, not me. And it's like the hood table. The hood table catches strays sometimes because she tries to be impartial. And when two people are going at it because she doesn't take a side, people get upset about it. I think Lolo the other day caught that stray, and her and Just Krista are cool now, but she literally caught that stray because she didn't want to get in the middle of two people.
Hmm. And see, like, like okay, as you get older, you get a little bit more mature. But just because you're more mature doesn't mean that you're more wise, right? It takes a level of learning yourself to gain some wisdom. And if one were to be very honest with themselves about certain things, then they could be able to have really meaningful conversations with people. And if one is able to correct themselves, right, then you can even have a better conversation, because conversations that are rooted in honesty usually like quell stuff real quick. Like both parties are coming from very honest space, and they're not trying to act like they didn't do a thing or this, that, and other, and or make excuses for. They're trying to get to that middle ground, and that's where you'll find where things can get better, and they probably will never go backwards. They'll go forward from there. But if you're having a conversation with somebody where they're just trying to be right, or they just somehow want to make you look away, then it will never go anywhere. But it comes like, to be on that level, it comes with a lot of self awareness, a lot of you know, critiquing your own self as a person, and then also being able to have empathy and some kind of sympathy for other people as well, right? Be empathetic. It's you have to practice on being a better person, and a
And you
lot
have
of
to
people,
humble yourself.
yeah,
Like if you do something wrong, apologize.
right.
Like I did something wrong to Jay Dizzle and I apologize. Like if I know for a fact I've done something to somebody, right? And I know I was in the wrong, I'm gonna go, hey, look, man, in that situation, I was being messy, or I said something I shouldn't have out of anger, and I apologize because I shouldn't have done it, or I was, trying to be nice to this other person, so I said something I shouldn't have said, and that's what you do. Like if you make a mistake, admit your mistake, humble yourself, apologize.
And correct yourself. And then
Hmm.
people, a lot of times people don't want to be corrected. They don't like to see like when they did something that was really egregious, right? Or it makes them look in a certain light. And then it becomes, oh, they tried to make me look this way. Well, I mean, is there any truth to it? That's the first question you have to ask yourself. Is
I,
there
I, I
truth?
got I got I got a different experience.
Mm,
Someone's always fucking with me, whether it's a random in the chat or a content creator, just bringing my name up out of the blue and saying some shit about me. This morning, early this morning, I'm seeing arts and craft, who I barely interact with, don't even interact with, said that something about me molesting young boys. Like, why would you say that? And that actually, I'm like, why would you say some bullshit like that? GX put this false story out because he gets his feelings hurt, so he tries to hurt as much as he can about some out of camera slip, and they said I was in bed with a white man. The white man was me. I was in bed with myself.
Wait, you was the
Whatever.
white man?
Yeah, there's only me in the bed. I wasn't in the bed with nobody. Um,
I,
whatever,
you
man.
know, you
But
have
no, no,
a
no,
good
no. So what you guys are talking about is,
Beasley. You're a troll, right? You have, and you know,
apologizing. God decided you do a lot of talking. Let me do my little thing, and I'm gonna go back on mute.
mm, rude.
In fact, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Hmm.
Well, I guess we both muted, trying to not be rude to each other to prove a point over here.
I want him to say what he's going to say. He over there smacking in our ears and stuff. Say what you got to say, Beasley. See, something's going on right now. But anyways, Beasley's a troll, right? He's been trolling for a very long time. And so sometimes people think trolls don't have feelings, but they do, right? And but he knows what he's getting. And a lot of it's because he's being trolled too. And so he understands.
I'm always being trolled.
Yes.
Always, nonstop. So I make a list. So when you see me snap at somebody, it looks like I'm just doing it to be doing it. No, they're on the list, and they will get their turn. They will get their turn. They will get what they bargained for. And
And he
so
gets
I just have a different experience than you guys.
and
And
he gets a kick out of trolling too, though. Don't let him fool you. He likes to troll.
well, actually the trolling that I would like to do is actually light. It's sarcasm. It's funny. It's funny. It's funny.
So Mr. Beasley basically wants to do the light, funny trolling, and people are forcing his hand the way he feels to do the rough troll, and he don't really want to do that.
No,
I mean,
I'd rather not. I'd rather not, but I will.
it's a lot of type of trolls out here.
And guess what? What I'm learning is, even though they're stifling me on my channel and everything between YouTube and just people not purposely not paying attention to me, um, I still have influence because I can put ideas out there and people are following through. You should have saw the person in YouTube cameras back chat talking about Lemon's brother. I mean, I
I
know it's
heard
bad.
about that.
Ooh, wow. Mrs. Lemon was going in.
That is, I will say that I was going to put that out there for YouTube cameras and for Just Krista, because Just Krista goes by that. But there is a person out there that is trolling with that name. And Uppity tried to say it was VS, but VS was on live at the time. And I'm going to tell you, she probably was not in that back chat. And I will say Vic said that it wasn't VS either. I have seen this troll in other chats, right? But I don't know who it is.
It sounds
I
like
don't
Vic.
know who it is.
It sounds like Vic.
But yeah, the person in the back chat, there was a lot of stuff going on to the point that YouTube cameras felt like it was draining to her because it was just too much at once with everybody woo banging this morning. If y'all didn't see YouTube cameras live this morning, everybody and their mama was woo banging this morning on her panel. Like,
That's why I went up there and said the prayer.
yeah, you needed to say a little prayer for everybody.
It's early in the morning. I'm swimming with porpoises and I'm waking up to this stuff.
It was a lot. I mean, I'm gonna tell you this: when it comes down to content, a lot of the Wu Bang that I saw, I saw some on Lemons. I didn't get to watch his whole live because it's so long, and I woke up at like 7, so I was trying to catch everybody at once. I was watching Miss Ronnie, I was watching VS's live, I was watching YouTube cameras, and I was watching them all simultaneously at the same time. And then when they went off, I went to watching Lemons, and right as I got towards midway of Lemons is when, and it was the part with Miss Saida that Miss Sincere that I got to when I had to stop and it was time for me to go live. So I was like, I'm
Yeah.
trying to catch everybody.
But look, I'm gonna get down to. I want to say this. I think you're doing a very good job, and there's something to be learned or to learn from certain people who've been around for a long time. Like when it comes to my platform, most people don't realize that my platform is a place where a lot of old trolls are, right? Like they've been around since the blog talk radio days. They've been, I say the titans, right? Of this stuff. They hang in
I'm the,
my
I'm the,
room.
oldest, I'm the oldest pro of them. I'm the oldest pro of them all.
Beasley is one of them. But if you ever go in there, the people that be in my chat have been around for years. And I mean like 10 or better, right? And so I get a lot of wisdom, if you will, from them, and a lot of knowledge. And then
They're not. They're not. They're most of them aren't really active.
they're not active like that, but they still have it in them and they still have knowledge. And I feel like I noticed that right over time, and I realized like a lot of people that
Some
are
of them
in
are.
my chat, they've been around for a very long time, and then there are a mixture of young trolls, old trolls there, right? That come through. But for the most part, they're very sarcastic and stuff like that, and funny, like funny with their trolling and stuff like that. But I think my space, in truth, is like a space where a lot of people can come and just be themselves, and so that's why it's welcoming in that way. But I'm lucky. Why I say I'm lucky is because the people who come through, they've been around for a long time, and they can hit me with things or knowledge and stuff and things that I'm not aware of, and that works to my benefit. Like it doesn't hurt me. So just get to know your chat, get to know your people, know who's for you, and try to look out for the landmines. That's all I can say. And then if you ever do make a move or have to make a move, move with your mind, not with your heart. You understand? Like queens rule with their mind, not with their heart.
You
I
know
get
what?
exactly what you mean. Take your feelings out of it and move with your brain.
You want
Yes.
to know something? I'm going to put a little cherry on top of that. That should be your policy towards life.
Mm-hmm.
It's way bigger than YouTube. It's way bigger than social media. That should be your policy of life, and that's what I try to do. And that's why, I know you always wonder why people say, "Oh, yeah, let me think about it." Because you think about it that way, I'm not going to react on how I feel. You
Yeah.
tell me something, I'm going to feel a way. You know, and I don't want to be. My feelings can change, but my thoughts can change too. But they're going to be consistent with my values and my expectations and my morals and my common sense and my wisdom. But my feelings can depend on a lot of things.
And you have to
So
learn to be able to decipher between, ego, right? So
that
that you're so
your ego is definitely a part of your feelings.
right, and that will
If you
make you
notice a lot of people, if you notice a lot of people on here when they're giving their opinion, they go, I feel, I feel." There's a group in the manosphere, the group that I like Officer
well, wait,
Charles.
hold on, because I'm gonna leave. Listen, Charlie,
She just
ego and
she
emotion
just
will
she just
always get you. It will
she
always get you. So do
she
not.
just cut me off. We're saying the same thing though,
I'm getting
but
ready to. I just want to say this to her.
it's
Just,
surprising to
you
hear
won't
her
let me
say
leave.
that. I can let you leave.
What are
I'm
you
just
saying? What is the
I'm
surprise?
cutting you off. I'm cutting you off like you cut me off.
Okay, now
We're,
you're.
we're, we're, sa-
That's
we're
okay.
saying the same thing. In the
Ego.
manosphere, they'll say, "I'll make it quick." They'll say, "Women can feel. Men have to be responsible. Men have to think. Men aren't making decisions or shouldn't make decisions based on their feelings. Women have the luxury of feeling. Men don't."
Look, don't let your ego get too big. Don't let it guide you, nor your heart. Use your brain, use your mind. Be strategic, be logical about things, right? And you'll be fine. You'll be fine. And also know everybody doesn't feel like your intention and your feelings is only a reflection of your intention and your feelings. It's not the reflection of theirs. So
Can we go?
even if they're
Can we?
acting a certain way, just take note and move logically with it.
Can we
Okay.
go? Can we go smoke now and get some coffee?
Leave me alone. Bye, Paris. Bye,
Can we?
Charlie.
Can
Bye,
we?
Miss
Can
Sincere,
we?
and thank you.
Bye
Can we?
bye.
Can we? You would be so tickled. She's left. She left. She'd be so tickled. She's not far from me. She's not far from me. I'm following her around. I'm going to see you later. Okay. I'm going to see where she goes
All right.
next.
Bye, Mr. Beasley. I dropped your channel and Miss Saida's for coming up this morning. Thank y'all so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Yeah, she gave you some good input there with some wisdom at the end. Let me go chase her around.
I go get her, Mr. Beasley.
I'm gonna make I'm gonna make her like me. Whether she really does like me, that's what the problem is. And I argue with her, and I give her flack, and I tell her that I don't like her, and she said it doesn't bother her.
He dropped. I did not drop him, but yeah, no. Thank you, Miss Saida, for telling me, your thought processes and how you, advice, because I listen to all parties involved. Because if you've been a CC for a long period of time, you know things that maybe I don't know. Also, uh, King Roman, I believe, also won his monetization back on his channel. So I just wanted to throw that out there. And for congratulations, I do have monetization. I have to do the apply and all that other stuff. So I have to wait 2 or 3 days or whatever, for the thing to go through. I just wanted to throw that out there. I did get my monetization. What? We got to have a party for that when it comes through. When it comes through, I'll let y'all know. But thank you for giving me, advice on being a CC, because, it is sometimes strategic in how we move and what we do. I will say that I have watched every single OG in this sector. I've watched, every one of them and how they move and how they do things. It may be different than the way that I do, right? Because we're all different at the end of the day. We're all different. We all have different ways that we speak and do things. Some people are more controversial than me. I'm not as controversial or whatnot. But I do want to say thank you to everyone who has supported me. VS, you already know. Jay Dizzle, you already know. TC, Beasley, Meow, every Miss LaKendra. I didn't get to say hey to y'all, the hood table, Mama Global, Miss Liz, Mitri. I'm trying to, Miss Tracy, Miss Creole, my sister from another Mister, Nita Meyer, Miss D Miss O. And I just want to thank everybody. You know what I'm saying? For that process, because so many people, and it's way more people that I could shout out. I mean, it's the entirety of the beef sector, right? The entirety. You know what I'm saying? So it's so many to name. I just want to say thank you to everybody because I appreciate it. I will say, if y'all haven't, Body Works, that's right, my Molly Mile. I don't want to leave anybody out and make anybody feel some type of way. So I want to shout out to everybody. You know what I'm saying? I know that's blanket, it's not personalized, but there's so many, it's hard to name everybody at once, right? All the people who have shared me, all the people who have got people to my channel, got me to my 1K, everything. I'm very appreciative of all of that. That's what a lot of people don't understand about me, is that in my heart of hearts, I'm appreciative for everything. Whether it's a like, whether you just view, and whether you share me out, if you stay for 5 minutes, if you're in the clouds, in the bushes. I want to thank the bush watchers who, might be afraid to pop on down, So I just want everybody to know that. I don't want nobody to feel like I don't appreciate it, because I sincerely do from the bottom of my heart. But if y'all didn't watch YouTube cameras this morning, right? Child, Sheffy and Lemon went at it. And then Uppity and Uppity, it was Uppity, Hershey Kisses. Well, no, Uppity, Brooke, and Demis. So I think, who was it? Let me make sure I got this right, because I don't want to misname nobody, because I got my my stuff right here. It was a lot. Oh no, it was Uppity. Sorry, Demis. So I'm sorry for putting your name in that. I apologize. It was Uppity, and it was Room Shaker. I saw you in here earlier, Shaker. And then it was and then after that, Brooke popped up. And then Hershey Kisses says she didn't like that R word being used towards Uppity's child. I will say that Miss Hershey Kisses said that. And child, they was woo banging early this morning on YTC. It was a lot of people going at it. Now y'all know that I don't know if the situation between Dragons and Lemon have situated, but then some people are saying it was, and then because I didn't get to see that part, if they had their conversation, I may have missed it, and I apologize to Miss Dragons and Mr. Lemon. But there are people stating that in Lemon's chat, she was saying something about Ness. I don't know all about that, so I'm not going to exactly report on what I don't know, because I do not want to misrepresent anyone. Right now, that's just what was being said that I heard. No, they were talking about, I know what it was, because I'm sitting here looking at it. They had that kerfuffle about Lady Dimples getting Shakim's Twitter, his dirty Twitter, right? And with his dirty Twitter, they're saying, Lemon's live last night, he said that, KRN had it 48 hours ago, and then Lady Dimples got it, right? Then KRN did come back this morning on YTC and said he didn't do it. Now, I will say, KRN, if you did share it to anybody, it's possible that you might have a mole or somebody who shared it to Lady Dimples. Could be that they sent it to somebody else, and then that person sent it to Lady Dimples. That is a very big possibility of how things spread in this sector. Like if you share it to one person and that person shares it to one person, and then you know how that goes. Could be that somebody was in the chat and knows some things and heard you say that he sent you the Twitter, and so they went looking for it. Now that's also a possibility that you have absolutely no dealings in it whatsoever, that somebody else did that, right? Because here's the thing. I'm surprised that ain't nobody found Just Krista's OnlyFans yet, because in this sector, if you say you got something outside the sector, a lot of people will go look for it, right? So until Lady Dimples says who gave it to her, and I doubt she's going to tell her sources, because that's Lady Dimple. She's not going to do that. She's not going to out her sources. Who would do that? I mean, you're outing somebody that's giving you information, right? Then I don't think we'll ever know how Lady Dimple's got it, right? So we can't necessarily put that jacket on anybody's back, in my opinion. Some people are going to say, now, there are saying that Ness probably got the Twitter and gave it to Dimples. Now, that is something that I heard, and that's what they were talking about with Miss Dragons, that she had put that in chat. Now, I don't know if that was, the real Dragons, or if it was a troll, because we have a lot of those running around here sometimes with spoof names. I'm not sure. I did not see that in the chat, so I'm not putting that jacket on Miss Dragon's back, right? Not going to do it, but that's what I heard. Now that is what some people are saying, Jay Dunn. They're saying that Ness had it and that's how it spread. But like I said, unless Dimples comes out and says she's the one, she found it, or who she found it through, we're not going to exactly know. So that jacket could be put on a lot of people's back that may not like Shakim, right? Or here's the thing, they may like Shakim and have given it to her before she got mad at him to go, girl, did you see your man on this Twitter over here? Did you see all this right here? Ooh, you know what I'm saying? And might have thought Mad Day between them might not happen, right? So we're not exactly sure how Lady Dimples got his Twitter, but I'm going to tell you something. Once you put it on the internet, especially Twitter being an open space, anybody could find it. So it could be literally anybody. Okay. And then, they were saying that person that goes by Mrs. Lemon in YTC's back chat was doxing Uppity and saying her name, but Uppity said they got the name wrong. Like they didn't spell it right. Right. And then they had, Vic said up there that he didn't want, nobody to associate him with Lemon. He ain't got no affiliation. But I don't think I've ever heard anybody say Lemon and Vic in the same sentence. I mean, people were talking about Shakim and Vic in the same sentence. I've heard that, about him, how, going around with, Shakim and chilling. And I will say, if y'all don't know this, last night on Just Krista, what I heard is that Mr. Noble and Miss Tracy have done a ceasefire. Miss Tracy's happy with her boo. Mr. Noble don't want to fight no more with Tracy. He hopes that she lives her best life and he wishes her the best. So they have a peace treaty, y'all. They're not supposed to fight no more. We're going to see how that goes within the next couple weeks, but there's supposedly a ceasefire between Mr. Noble and Miss Tracy. We're going to see how that goes. Also, I didn't understand why Sheffy and Lemon got into it this morning. I really didn't. So if Miss Sheffy, if you're in the clouds and you want to tell me what's up, please do, because I didn't understand why y'all got into it in the first place. I thought y'all were cool because I've been seeing you on his in his chat and everything else, and he was shouting you out when you lost your channel. So I thought y'all were cool. Now Lemon did tell Sheffy to do a big one, and he wishes her nothing but the best. He don't care. He can't be bothered. So I don't know what's going on with that. And now they said that Lady Dimple said that the person who gave her the info lives like 600 miles away. Right. And Lemon said that he lived, from the West Coast to the East Coast. That's thousands of miles away. And now Lemon did say that he just tolerated Sheffy. He never really liked her. So I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe he said that out of him being angry. I'm not sure. I don't even know if he's angry. It may just be he was like, I don't care. I really don't. But I mean, he did say he was drinking this morning, y'all. He did say that, and the rumor that was started, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to stay. The rumor. Okay. There was that rumor that Shakim has stated that Lemon was the reason that he never, really, when they were in Vegas, that Shakim didn't really talk to KRN like that. was because Lemon was in the way. He was rooster blocking. Let's say it that way. Rooster blocking, right? But Lemon said he ain't got nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't hear Shakim say anything back. Shakim stayed on mute the whole time, just about. He said little things here and there, but he pretty much, was like, I don't know if he was busy this morning or what was going on. So if Shakim, if you're in the clouds and you want to cover that, or Lemon, I know Lemon's probably asleep by now, but equal opportunity platform, just saying, giving y'all the option. And Karen said he don't care. He don't have a dog in the fight. He really just, he don't care. Right. I will say that KRN has a man, y'all. So I don't know. Is Shakim trying to be like a side piece to KRN? I think, in my opinion, from KRN's point of view, and he can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that he's not taking it that serious because he does have a man, and a good man. He bought him a coffee warmer. Like, he understood that he's got to work on his birthday and they can't do their trip. So, I don't think that he's taking this stuff with Shakim that seriously. I think Shakim may be playing around. So, I don't think it's as serious as the streets are trying to make it. I think that they're just playing around. I truly do. They can correct me both if I'm wrong, but I think they're just playing around. I mean, some people say it's the overplay for the underplay, in my cooling voice. Okay, and Lemon said, Jay Dizzle had to teach him, Jay Dunn had to teach him about StreamYard. And she had to teach him how to do his AdSense because he didn't know. He's not computer savvy like that, or phone savvy, with StreamYard. So how in the heck would he find Twitter in the first place? Or even really, like, he don't even know how to use Twitter. So he's like, I don't even know why I got thrown into it, because I'm not that tech savvy, so I wouldn't know how to run Twitter like that, And Jay Dizzle did say that, yeah, she had to teach Lemon some things about StreamYard and stuff, because he knows stuff. You know what I'm saying? But KRN at the time of Vegas never knew that Shakim liked him like that. And that's another thing that he said this morning. But yeah, King Roman does have a man, so I don't think that's going to go real serious. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, then Lemon and Uppity got into it too. Almost forgot that one. And Uppity said that Lemon needed a job, and Lemon said that she need teeth, because they always make fun of Uppity's teeth or whatnot. And then they both did low blows. Now they both did low blows. Uppity said something about Lemon's brother, and Lemon said something about Uppity's daughter. So I don't, y'all can go back and listen to that. I'm not going to repeat all that because I don't talk about the children and I don't talk about the dead if at all possible. And if I do, I'm going to speak about it in a way that is non-disrespectful, right? It's going to be repeating of something, but not in a way that's disrespectful. Just like I don't disrespect children, that's just me. Now, I will say that I agree with Hershey Kisses that I don't like that R word myself, spoken about a child. Other people, but I can't, just like we can't tell people how to fight, right? When they're going for low blows with each other, we can't necessarily tell them how to fight. I can't tell Brooke how to fight, regardless, that's her situation. They have a kerfuffle going on with each other. They've been reading each other for a while. They've had their beef for a minute now. I can't tell either Uppity or, Brooke how to fight. I will say myself, I don't like the R word, and I don't like it being used against a child, because that is, in my opinion, you're putting down the kid's disability that they can't help. And sometimes I don't even like saying disability. I like saying differently abled, right? And then we just heard what happened with Miss Cecile. She came up here. She said her piece. Lady Wu, if you're in the clouds, you can come say your piece. Because I want everybody to feel like in this, in my life, you can come say your piece. You don't have to be smacked in the side of the face. That's just like, I respect Lady Wu, but if she had come up when Miss Saida was here, I would have asked Miss Saida if it was okay. Just like if Wu was up here first, I would ask Wu if it was okay. Because I don't want to swipe anybody. If it happens, I didn't know about it. So yeah. And that's the craziness. And then they've been talking about the sector and what people feel is changing about the sector, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent. A lot of the OGs, like if y'all saw Bree's life yesterday, I was watching it, and to me, it's like Bree wants to do different content. Like she's in a different headspace than she was when she was in her late 20s. Because like when I first met Bree, I think she was like mid 20s, early 20s, something like that. I've watched Bree grow up pretty much, and now she's in her early 30s, right? And I think that, in my opinion, she's in a happier place in life. She's grown up a little bit. She's different. She's matured. I do believe that, let's see if it happens, because you know how this sector is. It'll suck you right back in. She's basically stating in her live that's what I saw, was that she basically wants to do different content. She said, could she come down here and cuss somebody out in a heartbeat? Yeah. But does she want to do that all the time? No. She doesn't know where she's headed or what she's doing right now in life. She's just chilling. She's just taking it day by day and living, right? But we don't, it's up in the clouds on what she's going to choose to do. I will say that I think that Bree's people are going to follow her regardless if she changes her content. A lot of people extremely love her. Now, here's the question. If she changes her content, right? How long will that last before someone tries to drag her back in, right? Before someone tries to put her in some mess, right? Because I've seen other content creators try to do this, and then the beef sector pulls you back in because someone's trying to beef with you, and you got to come out here and defend yourself. So, it's whether she takes the bait or not. I know with Bree, she's very brilliant, and she's going to do what she's going to do when she sets her mind to something. It's the same thing for a lot of people in the sector. That's why you do see some people in the sector, they're not just doing beef sector. They're doing other things too. They're going outside of the sector, like VS. She's networking. She's going around doing different things. She's in the Mo3 sector, in the T sector, in the Latrice Island sector. You see all these people doing this. You see Lemons now going over there. He's talking about how he's been in the Mo3. And I will say this, and then you see Miss Pizarro's doing the same thing. Everybody's networking, going outside. And it's been merging for a while now, and everybody's been doing it because it does give extra content. Sometimes it does get dry on these YouTube streets, right? Sometimes it does, occasionally. And then 2 days from then, you'll have a beef pop off. But I believe, in my opinion, that's more natural beef, right? Than it would be more manufactured. Because beef shouldn't pop off every single day, all the time, or you're just fighting to be fighting, right? But let's say I say something today and somebody doesn't like what I say, right? And then they come at me, and then I have to come back. That's how a natural beef starts. If you really truly look at it, if somebody had something to say about what any of us say, right? That's how natural beef start. So that stuff pops off all the time. Yesterday, I will apologize. I didn't get to share everybody out like I normally do. My little puppy wuppy, him is sick. And started out with my big dog's arthritis was acting up. And then he started feeling sickly. So I had to go get him some medicine yesterday and make sure he took it. And I'm keeping an eye on him. So if he has to go to the vet or whatnot, so I went and I've doctored him up and, gave him everything he needs so far. And we're going to see how he acts today. And if he don't get no better, then we're going to take him to the vet. But we made sure that, he's good. He's my little baby. So I have 3 of them. And Yeah, I hope he feels better and whatnot. And I have been hearing a lot that a lot of people are ending up sick this week. I think it's because of the weather change or whatnot. But yeah, I did want to state that that's going on, and then we have. Let me make sure I didn't miss any of the notes from yesterday because we had a lot of people woo banging. Now I will say Miss Heatwave was trying to say something on YTCs, and Brooke wouldn't let her finish her sentence. And Brooke did say to Uppity, show me the money, and she pulled out some money and put it on Cam and all that other stuff. It was a lot going on in YTCs this morning, y'all. Um, it was a lot. And I didn't get to watch but about halfway with Lemon, so I'm going to have to watch the other half. I do not know what I missed. If I missed any good tea this morning and y'all know about it, y'all can pop up on the link and let me know. Because if I missed it, it's because I was busy yesterday. Because, girl, I was trying to, when I woke up this morning, I was trying to watch 50 different lives at one time and trying to see what had happened was. And so I really don't know all of everything. Now, I will say with the Simon situation and Mother, I did see that. I was watching that live, and Mother, it killed me when Mother said, because I don't think Simon understands that us in America, when we say sugar, we're talking about diabetes, right? We call it the sugar. We call heart condition. If you got like blood pressure, we call it the pressure, right? Especially down south. Oh man, you got the pressure and you got the sugar. Bless your little heart. You know what I'm saying? That's what we call it. So when he said he had diabetes, I don't think he understood when Mother was coming back. What you mean about my sugar? What you talking about my sugar for? I think everybody else understood it. Now, I will say I think the reason that Simon, if you're listening in the clouds, that people went after you was because you were making snide remarks as you were up there, and you may have not meant it towards a specific person, but anybody could have took what you said and said it was a thing, right? Like you were making little comments, like, you know, adding funnies in your opinion, but because of that, somebody else may have took it wrong, right? Sometimes what I see that when people get upset with you is because like you're in your manner, I think in your brain joking, but I don't think they take it that way. And some people in the sector really, some people enjoy you and some people think that you don't add the value to it. I'm sorry, but it's because you interrupt sometimes and talk over that they feel that way. I have seen it in chats where people are like, oh my God, it's this Simon. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, so I'm trying to give you a word of advice. Sometimes when you see two people like woo banging, mute, because people will get mad at you if they can't hear what the two people are saying while they're woo banging, even though you didn't necessarily, you were just trying to add a funny, right? I've been, hand to God, I have been bad about that in the past. I accidentally unmuted and was trying to do something, and I accidentally talked over somebody who was woo banging, and I got in the chat too. So sometimes read the room, look at the chat. They'll tell you like if they're getting really upset. Now you may be doing this to be controversial, and if you want to be controversial, just keep doing what you're doing. It's your choice, but it's the ad libs and the talking over that a lot of people do not like in this sector. Like if two people are woo banging, hush, because they gonna both turn on you. I'm gonna tell you that's another thing about the beef sector where you're an outsider. Let's say me and Jay Dizzle was getting into it. Jay Dunn, I'm gonna use you as an example. Is that okay? If not, I'll use me and Mitri. Mitri's right here. Me and Mitri's into it, right? And we cursing each other out, right? But you're ad-libbing and talking over. We could both then turn on you, right? And start cursing you out for your life. Okay, Jay Dizzle. Yeah, me and Jay Dizzle, we into it. We on limits. We cursing each other. We going back and forth. And then you say something like we know each other, been knowing each other for years, right? We will turn on you. I hate to tell you that one. But you trying to insert yourself in between us is not a good thing, because we will. That is just the way, like, the sector runs. Like, your best bet, trust me, stay out of it. I know it's too late. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mitri. I love Miss Mitri. But yes, and so that's what I'm telling you. I'm giving you a little advice. When you see two woo banging and they from the beef sector, stay out of it, because the minute that you say something that you shouldn't, they will both turn around and go, "What'd you just say?" And then they just literally made up over the fact that, well, for the 5 seconds that they cussing you out, and then they'll go back to woo banging. But you got to be careful when you come in the sector. Now, I will say, I think Big Riggs is one of the ones that came in this sector the right way. Right? He came in and he was respectful to all. He don't really involve himself in too much of the mess. Right? He sat back and he watched. He gave himself a moment. A lot of people, he would say hey to people. He would get to know people, be seen in the chat. And I think that he came in the correct way. There's a lot of people that come out. Now, I will say, Shakim is being very salacious. He's being controversial. That is keeping his name hot in the streets. He knows what he's doing. Tulsa does the same thing. If you really pay attention, that's how you keep your name hot in the streets. You become salacious, or you just be there all the time, right? That's the two ways to do it. You can either be seen one or two ways. You know, being salacious does bring, I'm not saying it's going to bring numbers to your channel per se, but it will bring people talking about you. And then when other people get curious, it can bring numbers to your channel. Like, it can pop off on your channel at any time. Nobody ever knows. I will say, T-Royal Gaming, I have heard some really good drags on these YouTube streets. And there's some make you want to go, ooh. You know what I'm saying? I heard it here first. And but yes, I will say that if two content creators are going at it and you're an outsider, be careful. Even me being from here, right? Shoot, I'm gonna mute up because I know better than talk over. And I know better than to say something, because they gonna get me. And I ain't gonna get got. So I'm smart enough to mute myself. You know, you gotta have panel etiquette in a way. Like, you can still woo bang if you want to woo bang. But also, manufacturing beefs is another thing that people do not like in this sector. Like, you just start randomly going after an OG in the sector like Mava, and you're not a known person and he didn't say anything or do anything to you. Yes, that is a lot of people are going to jump on that train that, you know, you shouldn't have come at somebody first when they didn't do nothing to you. That's the way they're going to feel. I'm just giving you some, you know, friendly advice, Simon. Whether you take it or you don't take it, it's up to you. But be very careful, because you gonna cause yourself to get dragged. I'm just saying. Now, today was supposed to be Topic Tuesday, right? But we did have a lot that went on in the sector. And what I'm going to do on Topic Tuesday, so this week I'm just letting y'all know, basically, when there's not a lot going on, we're going to have like things like Mystery Monday and Messy Monday and all that stuff. And I'm not saying that interviews are not going to happen in between, because they can always happen. If anybody has anything that happens in this sector and you want to clear your name or clear the air, my platform is open to you, and I will make sure that no one jumps in and talks on top of you, so you can get your word out. And then if you want to woo bang with them and you're okay with that, then I will let y'all. But the main reason is so that you can get your words out without having to worry about somebody talking over you, right? Give you a moment to say your piece, then, you know, you go on mute, let them say their piece, and vice versa. That way, people can understand. Now, I do know that sometimes people are going to go back and forth regardless of the situation, you know, trying to keep it to where, you know, it's respectful. Like the other day when Miss Brina and Miss Just Krista came up here, that was a respectful conversation between the two. I think they needed to have it at the time. They were the hot topic, right? And I'm so thankful to both of them for coming up here and having a grown folk conversation, right? And that's the way I want it to happen. Like, if anybody hears anything I say and I get it wrong, please come correct me. Tell me what you're feeling in your heart. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to just see what I see. And sometimes I might get it wrong. And I would rather give everybody the opportunity to say what I got wrong. But I will say that also Lemon said that he did not let Simon get jumped, that Simon caused it on himself. Now, that's what Lemon said. Now, I will say, if, anybody has, like, you're in Lemons and you're throwing out things and somebody else catches it the wrong way, then they have every right to come back and say something. Now, I don't know, Simon, if it's because you know this sector or not. If you don't know it well, maybe you sit back a little bit and get to know it. Because even when you were on Lolo's, what was it, a week or two ago, right? They had that situation to where, Lady of the Hour was saying something to you about it, right? Well, Lady of the Hour and you were having y'all's little kerfuffle up there, right? It was because, sometimes you jump in when you don't know something. Like, so be very careful. If you don't know the beefs, I was telling this to somebody else. Like, let's say me and T-Royal Gaming had a beef that was long standing for 5 years, right? And you didn't know about it. And you don't know where it started. Sometimes it's best to sit back, relax, watch us two, get to know, and figure it out. Hey, Drika. Hey, Bella. Oh, Bella. Yeah. Some people don't like Simon. Some people do. Some people think that he doesn't add any value, and that's, their opinion. Me, myself, and I don't have a problem with Simon because he's not giving me a reason to. That's the kind of person I am. Like, hey, King Kush, bro. I forgot to say hey to you. T-Run game. I'm trying to say hey to everybody. If I missed you, y'all know it's been a hectic morning for me. And also make sure, I forgot to do it this morning. Take your morning medicine. This is your med check morning reminder. Don't forget your morning medications. But yeah, some people don't like Simon. Some people do. That's like some people love Lady Wu. Some people do not. There's a lot of people in this sector that are well loved by some and not liked by others. Simon's new. He's got to learn the hard way. Just like some of us other, I sat back and watched. And I believe that's what a lot of people should do when you first enter a sector. Like when I first went over to the Mo3 sector because they wound up in VS's live when she did her mod tryouts. We went over there and whatnot. And I probably would have got dragged into a chat if I had that really bad Wi-Fi back then. But I had terrible Wi-Fi. And I was over there and we were trying to get to know everybody, know what everybody's beefs is. Because the first time I was in the Mob 3 sector, I was actually over at Coolin's live. And I had no idea who she was talking about. I had never met Max Boogie before, right? I didn't know who she was. And that's what the live was about that day. And that was when they was beefing, right? I had no idea who the lady was. I was in there laughing and cutting up and didn't even know what I was laughing and cutting up about. And I could have been messy and said something back then. And I don't even know because I might have been stupid right at that moment. But I learned that the best way is to go in respectful, sit back, get to know each other. Some of these, it's just like us, right? Us in the beef sector. We've all known each other for a certain amount of time and period. We know whose beefs are up and stuck, who can make up, who can be cool with each other, who can, be in the same circles, don't have to be friends, but can, be cordial. And we know some people will never make up, right? We know these things. We know who's got beef with who. But if you go to a new sector, you may not know that. Yeah, there's a lot of people that they say don't add value. I myself, I don't try to jump up on panels unless it's just like we're having, because a lot of times I'm not a beefer, right? I'm not a dragger. We all know this. So for me to jump up there just for no apparent reason, a lot of times I'm not going to do that. When I do jump up on Lemons, a lot of time it's to try to help him. Like if he has a hectic live going and I have time and it's early enough during the day, because sometimes he goes live too late. I would do the same thing for any other content creator in the beef sector. If they need me to jump up there and do a screen share real quick, because I do have a laptop and I have time, I don't mind doing it. If somebody wants me to jump up there and remind them to check their back chat or check their super chats or look at the chat, or if the chat's saying something real serious and they want the content creator to know, I don't mind helping in that way. That's the reason a couple of times I popped up on Lemons. Now, have I popped over there when it's a slow night and they're just having a conversation? Yes, because that's, I don't mind having the conversations. Jay Dunn asked me to come up there because we had been in the same chat together and I could confirm what she had heard over at the other person's panel. And I don't mind doing that. You know what I'm saying? If I heard something and I have like my own thought process about it and I heard it too, and you want me to say, yep, that's exactly what was said, I'll do that, but I just do not jump up there to be ad-libbing. I'm not going to start no beefs and start cussing folk out for no apparent reason. Like I go over there with I go, no, I'm gonna say, Miss Bella, that's what some people say. Some people say that, my little white butt need to sit down. That's what some people say. I gotta put myself in that category if I am trying to do something like that. If I ever try to do something like that, please call me out. Tell me, smack me upside the head with a baseboard, because sometimes I might need it. A lot of times I just jump up there to try to add funnies. I tell the truth. Most time that's when I'm in a goofy mood. And people be thinking I'm drunk or high. I do not drink. I do not smoke any of that because I have, doctors that I see and I got a liver condition and all that other stuff. So I don't be doing that. I just feel goofy sometimes and I be doing goofy stuff. So sometimes I jump up there to be goofy. I admit it when Lolo's doing her after dark. And, sometimes I want to bring the funny to the panel. That's myself. But I always try to, like, if two people are fighting, I ain't getting in it. I'm muting. I'll sit up there on mute for about 30, 45 minutes to an hour. I swear I will. I'll sit on mute the whole time. I'm not crazy enough to believe that. Why would I put myself in their beef or mess it up where people can't hear? I want people to be able to hear because I want to hear it too. Shoot. I ain't messing up no good hearing. Good morning, Miss Tammy. But yeah, I do love acting goofy. That's just a thing. Sometimes that's me. I do want to say thank you to everybody that, has done support and whatnot. But what I was talking about with Topic Tuesday, on Tuesdays, like I want the subbies to be able to have a chance to bring up a topic they may have been want to talk about or been thinking about. So I'm gonna always put up every Monday or Tuesday morning, but most likely probably Monday afternoon. So it gives y'all a chance to come up with things. What do y'all want for Topic Tuesday? So if you have like something that you've been watching or following or you've been wanting to know about or you want to talk about and bring up, we can do Topic Tuesdays, which means it can be any topic that you want. You know what I'm saying? Any topic that you want to speak about. It could be beef sector. It could be Mo3. It could be celebrity. It could be the news. It can be anything, right? And this way, like, I want to give the subbies a chance to be able to say what they feeling, what they think, and what they've been wanting to talk about. Because not all the times do the subscribers get that opportunity. And if it wasn't for y'all subscribers, us content creators would be nothing. Subscribers are what bring content creators views. Subbies are what bring content creators, everything. Without the subscribers, what are we? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I want the subscribers to have their opportunities. And if any of the subscribers ever want to jump up on a panel and you've never done it before, I don't mind popping your cherry and being the first panel you ever hit. I really don't, because I promise you ain't gonna get jumped on here. Oh, yes, Miss Dobie's she's doing her pumpkin carving, isn't she? This Sunday? If I'm not mistaken, I know that she was doing her pumpkin carving thing. She's still doing her pumpkin carving. Because I've been promoting Miss Dovey, Miss Tracy's World, Miss Lady Nika, Miss Creole. What is she doing this Sunday? Did she stop not do her or is it the which one is oh, she changed it to an adult event? Because I know at one time that's what she was doing. Let me look over here on Miss Dovey's channel if she's posted about it. Because I like to keep up to date on things. And I try to promote everybody. Y'all know I do. Because I know that Miss Dovey's not necessarily been feeling the best. Oh, she's doing her pumpkin carving on the 12th, which is Saturday. Okay, so she's doing her pumpkin carving on Saturday. Oh, she's doing the hole in the wall, the jukebox. Okay. It's not on there yet. See, I hadn't heard about it yet because I've been trying to run around the streets, and she's changed it to an adult event. So this Friday, this Sunday, that was canceled. Okay, so she did cancel her pumpkin carving thing, and this Sunday she's doing a hole in the wall jukebox live. So I can't wait to hear. Oh, that does remind me. I'm pretty sure that's where she got the name to from the song "The Hole in the Wall." So she's gonna do that this Sunday. Y'all keep an eye out for Miss Dovey. She's gonna have the Hole in the Wall jukebox edition with blues music, dancing, with hats, and just a good old time, right? And then Miss Tracy World, she's doing her she has a sweet potato challenge coming up. I'll tell her I will be there. Miss Dovey knows that I love her. You know what I'm saying? I will be there with bells on. I like to support everybody in the sector. Thank you, Miss Dovey, for the invitation. But this Sunday, she's doing her jukebox dancing and just having a good old fun time. The 10th is the sweet potato challenge. Thank you, James. And then the Creoles challenge is this Saturday on the 12th. She's doing a loaded toast challenge. And then Miss Lady Nika on the 25th is doing her third annual and very last Halloween competition. And she's going to pass the baton to the younger folk. So it's going to be her very last one. And then on the 26th, Lolo is doing her Halloween competition. So that's the way things are going right now of all the competitions that I know that are happening within this week or, fun times. So Miss Dovey is doing a blues music and dancing with hats this Sunday. And then we have the sweet potato challenge by Miss Tracy's World. And we have the loaded toast challenge this Saturday. And then the 25th, Miss Nika, 26th, Miss Creole, not Miss Creole, but Miss Lolo is having her Halloween competition. Hey, Misunderstood Love. Girl, you was bringing some controversy the other day with your political live. Girl, you had people in a tizzy. I don't know if you know that. Some people was upset. And some people they was. I just letting you know that some people in the YouTube streets was a little upset. And then some people was like, do you, boo-boo? That's what they were saying. I'm just saying, Miss Understood. How you doing? How's school this morning? But yeah, so I was just wanting to make sure that they'll be okay. That's right, Misunderstood. That's your, okay, here's the thing, MU. Your content is your content. Your thought process is your thought process. It's like we're all adults here. We can agree to disagree. We can like each other. We can not like each other. Right? It's called to agree to disagree. But y'all keep an eye out on the community wall because when all these lives go live, and somebody was asking me the other day, why'd you share a read? Well, here's the thing. I'm going to try to share out everybody, even if you don't like me, because here's the thing. I want to give the people a chance to know who's live. Now, there's some folks I need to subscribe to, and I did not get to share out yesterday because I ain't subscribed to everybody. I need to go subscribe to everybody. That's my fault, nobody else's. But if I see somebody's live, I'm going to share them out. You can choose to go or not go, right? And this is for the people who might want to see that person. Like, you know, it's equal opportunity. I'm trying to do it for the people, right? So you'll know who's live and you can know where to go. And now, if there is something really salacious happening in that live, then yes. Also, Jay Dunn has Members Mondays. And this week, we're going to be watching There's Something Wrong with Aunt Diane, and join her membership, because we're going to be talking about that on Member Mondays. And she's going to be like bringing up different things for us to talk about on her memberships on Mondays. So Jay Dizzle, I just want to make sure that, it's known that she got her membership, and we're going to be doing different things. And I'm going to be on her membership Monday this next week. So when she does her members live, I'm popping up there. I do have that. I didn't get to watch it last night, Jay Dunn, because of my puppy getting sick, but I do have it literally on my bar right now to watch. So I will be watching that before Monday. And yes, if they don't agree with you, misunderstood, your views and opinions are your own, right? And then just because I may not agree or somebody else may not agree, we can always be adults and agree to disagree. We can always agree to disagree on things. We don't always have to agree on everything. We're adults in this situation. Me, myself, and I'm going to put this out there. I don't like no politician whatsoever. I don't care. I don't like near one of them. Because I'm going to tell you something. Don't near one of them like me. Don't near one of them care what happens in my house. I'm just a number to them. Point blank period. And I'm going to say you should care more about your local elections and the House and State of Representatives, because to me, the president ain't nothing but a look pretty. But that's just my opinion. He look pretty. That's all he or she is a look pretty. They're like, hi, look at this. They're not the ones who pass the bills and make the laws. It's the House of Representatives and the Senate that you should really be looking into. If we want to get political, you should look at your local elections, because that's what's going to affect you the most. Okay. Yeah, see, I'm going to, Jay Dunn, I'm going to watch it and I'm going to make notes so that when we get up there and talk about it, because I got ADHD, right? And I'll be forgetting some stuff. So this way I don't forget anything while I'm watching it. I'm going to make some notes so that when we go over it and whatnot, I don't forget anything, important, because how my ADHD is. Also, Jay Dizzle, you can do where you don't want your members to have to pay for anything extra. You can do Tubi also, Tubi movies and stuff, and talk about them, because Tubi is absolutely free, right? So if you can't find something on YouTube, you can find something on Tubi for your members, for us to all watch and then come back and speak on it. Tubi is 100% free. That's another, besides YouTube, Tubi is another option. I was thinking of doing something similar, but a little different. But I'll talk to you about that, Judges. I'll talk to you about that, Judges. Mine's a little different in a way, because I pay for streaming services. There's some things, and I'll tell you about it. I'll tell you about it later. But yes, so I just wanted to throw that out there. And also, if I find anything really cool on Tubi or anything like that, I'll shoot it to you. You can see if you like it or you don't like it. And it show options, right? Because sometimes I'll be watching Tubi. I will say, don't nobody waste your time on that movie Cupid. I'm still mad about that. I'm going to be mad about that to the end of time. And I wish I could get back those 2 hours of my life, but I did have fun making fun of it. So, I got a little entertainment value out of making fun of it, so maybe that's a thing. There's this YouTuber I watch. I don't know if y'all have ever watched her, but her name is Kenny JD. She used to do a thing called Bad Movies in a Beat. She is hilarious. She does that, and I like watching some of those. They do the movie reviews that they intentionally watch the low budget bad movies to see how bad they really are. Sometimes that's a fun thing too, right? It's called Bad Movies in a Beat. Well, she don't do it, I don't think, much anymore, but she still does movie reviews and stuff. But Kenny JD, she's really funny. If y'all have a chance to check her out, She's hilarious. And there's this other lady I watch who does the mysteries and that I like to do. She does hers with makeup. Oh, what is her name? I know her name. She does, what is her name? She does the makeup. Let me see if I can find her YouTube right quick. She's really cool too. She does, Bailey Saran. She does her murder makeup thing. She's really cool. She does a lot of research into them, like into the cases that she does. She does murder, mystery, and makeup. So while she's putting on her makeup, she usually does that on Mondays. She'll tell you all about the mysteries and, like go into the cases. Like she really deep dives into it. So that's another good person to watch or whatnot. Let me go over here and see right quick who is live today. Let me look. So we have Creole. Let me make sure this is right. Let me make sure I redo this. All right. I did re-up it. We have Creole Butterfly. Miss Tracy is live. The Good Putty is live. Truth Enterprise. Auntie Fee About the Facts. If y'all have seen him, Daquan, he has a gaming channel. He's live right now. And Grown Folks TV is live on his 2.0 channel. Miss Tracy is with her live. The title says right now what I'm looking at. What the F is going on? We have that. I'm just saying all who is live. You can choose to go who you want to. I'm not going to force y'all to go anywhere you don't want to go. I'm just telling y'all all who is live right at this moment, what it shows on mine. If I missed anybody that is live, it's because YouTube is not updating it. So right now, Creole Butterfly, she's talking about her title says jealousy is crueler than the grave. Miss Tracy's is what the F is going on? I was spending time, child. And Miss Tracy, it is kind of your fault why I say child so much. I'm sorry. You and Miss Paulette got me saying woo child a lot, and it became a thing. Sorry about that, but I do say child a lot because of that. So me myself. Y'all, my husband just walked through and said, even offline. He knows how I talk. I've always talked this way. I want to thank everybody for coming out, popping through. I know we're going to go see what's happening on these streets and what's going on. Now, I will say Miss Bizarro's had some really great lives, Miss Zintel, recently. And I did watch her live this morning in VS. I was in there. I was popping through, while I was getting my coffee and everything, and I was listening. I do have to go back sometimes and rewatch the beginnings because I'll be just getting up because of the time differential because I'm an hour behind. Same thing with YouTube cameras. A lot of times I have to red ball back for her. So there's maybe some things I missed on YouTube cameras. That's just the point that I came in at and the things that I saw, right? It's the same thing with others. Like I got to go watch Lemon and everything. But y'all have y'all a blessed day. Thank y'all for popping through. We are going to have a monetization party soon. And thank you to everybody who's helped me get there and be there. I want to thank all y'all for being here today. Thank you for Mr. Beasley and Miss Sincere for hitting the link and clearing that up this morning on what happened on Lemons. And y'all have a blessed, beautiful day. Also, shout out to Lemon. Holla at your player when you see him on the street. Bye, y'all.
I'm from the TUPELO. I'm reppin' my hood, so love I'm gon' show from the TUPELO. I'm reppin' my hood to the day that I go from the TUPELO. E-L-O, I'm reppin' my hood, so love I'm gon' show from the T-U-P. E-L-O, I'm reppin' my hood to the day that I go.
I'm from the west side, we don't need no introduction, this was the best ride. We all big boy rolling and holding, come take a test drive. Hilldale, Evergreen, Glenkirk, Adder Street.